Growing up and visiting a big city, say over the weekend, was always a treat for my family and I, mainly because I came from a small town where the nearest big city was about 3 hours away. Fast forward now, my family and I are living in Los Angeles, California. LA has always been a dream of mine. The lights, the atmosphere, the creative energy that this place has always held. So we decided to make the jump here in February of this year.
California issuing a strict stay-at-home order to his state's 40 million residents.
That directive goes into force and effect this evening.
So since moving here, we can't help but notice a shift in the atmosphere.
My friend Joey's moved to New Jersey. Theo Vaughn is moving. I think he's moving to Nashville. A lot of my friends are talking about Texas. People are just bailing.
The energy that I experienced while visiting and also moving here has just seemed to be muted.
And of course, I never expected we'd still be here in October talking about this.
This is William Fulton. He wrote an incredible essay back in March titled, "Here is what our cities will look like after the coronavirus pandemic."
That was a long time ago. Things are a little bit different now, but the selling points to living inside a city have always been and are still proximity to a variety of things. So in big cities, even in Los Angeles, people have begun to value being able to walk to their local restaurant and bar or coffee shop. High amenities close to where you live, sometimes where you don't even have to get in your car. That has been the tremendous attraction of cities in the last few years.
My biggest takeaway was the rebirth that our cities will soon have post-pandemic. Businesses shutting down, those empty buildings turning into family lofts, and workspaces.
I think the two main points were that, number one, retail businesses are going to go out of business and there's going to be more retail space available. And the other one is there will be more working at home permanently. How much more is a little hard to say, but there will be more.
Now, there are two different types of working away from the office. There is one that's called working from home, and that is maybe because you will report to the office 1 to 2 times a week or bi-weekly. There is another that a lot of large companies are switching to though, and it's called working from anywhere.
Big companies like Facebook allowing employees to work from home forever, following Twitter, Square, and Dell. Many others telling employees to work from home till at least the end of the year.
So I go by Raj Chaudhary, and I'm the Lumri Family Associate Professor at the Harvard Business School. So you now have the flexibility to pack your bags and leave New York or San Francisco and go and live in a small town or anywhere that you really prefer.
So no longer are individuals having to move to large cities for career opportunities when the careers are actually going to the people.
A big challenge right now, which is that a lot of opportunities are only available in cities in these metropolitan areas, which means that people kind of need to choose between the lifestyle that they want and sometimes would need to move to a city and leave that.
In a recent study by the Harvard Business School, companies have found an increase in employee productivity. One of the most significant gains was the change from working from home to working from anywhere. This study has been going on well before the pandemic.
Productivity went up by 4.4% when they went from a traditional work from home to this work from anywhere program.
No traffic, the cost of living, just a slower pace of life for a few reasons why people are ditching the city. But one town has seen an uptick in new residents over the past few months, and that is Bend, Oregon.
Bend, Oregon is, in my opinion, one of the best places to live in the country. We moved here in 1985 because we wanted to leave the rat race of the Southern California craziness that we had to deal with there, the traffic, all the commuting.
The last census shows that the population of Bend was a little under 100,000 people. And in LA County, there are 66,000 people considered homeless, according to the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority. In Bend last year, they had over 900 homes for sale. Now that number is down to 200.
Since COVID hit, I've never seen inventory levels as low as they are. So we are now less than a month's supply. This is for Bend single-family homes on less than an acre.
So what I find fascinating about this part of the story is that the bidding war that is happening in these smaller towns. For example, a buyer recently lost out on a bid that was $400,000 above asking price.
There was someone else who bid close to $500,000 over asking price. A bidding situation that we're experiencing, cash is typically winning out over loans.
The pandemic has already changed the way many of us view life.
I think people still value access to amenities and proximity and face-to-face interaction. You probably won't drive 40 miles to sit in front of your computer and type, but you probably will drive 40 miles to go to the office once or twice a week in order to have that very rich face-to-face interaction with your co-workers or with other business associates.
I don't think large cities will go away because many of us love large cities, but we won't have people who hate large cities being forced to live in large cities. I think that's the change.
Cities just have a way of adapting to the times. No one fully knows what the future of LA will look like or other big cities.
One thing I think the pandemic has taught us is we're all in this together, and we have to figure out how to solve our social problems all together as a society. More housing, more available to more people at a lower cost in a variety of ways.
The work from anywhere format will definitely have an impact. People will choose where they want to live, and employers will have a much larger talent pool to choose from. Cities large and small have always had a way of adapting to the times, and this time is no different. Hey everyone, Cody Broadway here. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out the NBCLX YouTube channel. Be sure to click here for more videos, and also click here to subscribe to join the NBCLX community.